IA Financial shares fell today after the insurance and wealth management firm's fourth quarter core earnings per share missed the average analyst estimate. And so for more perspective, we're joined now by Denis Ricard, President and CEO of IA Financial. It's good to have you join us, sir. Thanks so much.
Nice to be with you today.
So what are your thoughts and your reaction on the latest quarter for IA Financial and also the market reaction to it?
Well, I've got a lot of experience in the industry, and I've seen the stocks moving up or down the day of the announcement. So I will be patient, see, over the next couple of days how the stock perform. But I think there's been an overreaction today for sure, because we've had a remarkable year last year. Yes, a miss for the last quarter, but there are a lot of very, I would say, reasonable explanation. Something that are unusual that will not be repeat itself in the future. So I feel confident about the future.
What were some of those factors, that the reasonable explanation for the latest quarter, and also some factors that you just mentioned there that won't be repeated in the future? What are those?
Yeah. Interestingly, one of them is the fact that we've had such a great ride on our stock recently that there's been some additional expenses related to compensation that are related to variable to stock price, basically, like performance share units. So there was an uptick of 10 cents per share in the quarter. The other thing that what happened is that there's been a small experience loss this quarter versus a significant experience gain last year. Anyways, related to one specific group that we had. And also, I would say that the seasonality of our results have probably not been understood very well by the market. So we need to do a better job to explain that in some quarters, because of, let's say, for example, we have some auto and home insurance business, and there might be some weather issue, or whether obviously in Q1 or Q4 is because of winter, there's more claims, for example. So we need to explain a bit more the variability, the seasonality of our results.
What about the acquisition of RF Capital? How much did that impact net profits in this quarter?
Well, for this quarter, we're very pleased because it was not supposed to be accretive as fast. And so this quarter, we have a positive contribution of $3 million net for that acquisition. We've had a fantastic retention of advisors in that business. Also, the market has helped during the year. So we're very pleased where we are. And we've already started doing some synergies in that business. So, great future.
You also pulled your 17% ROE ahead of its 2027 schedule. What was the strategy behind that move?
Yeah, well, another thing that I think has been a remarkable year. Not only have we increased the EPS by 16% last year, over our 10% guidance to the market, but we've decided to advance the guidance for the ROE, which was 17% in 2027. And because we've reached last year 17.1%, we decided to obviously advance that guidance. So we believe that in 2026, we will be able to deliver that 17% plus going forward.
Expenses noticeably higher in this quarter as well. I'm wondering, what do you say to investors to reassure them about that this isn't going to be a broader trend going forward? Or is it?
Well, we manage our expenses very tightly. But like I said before, some additional expenses were really compensation related, which should be a good news. Our performance has been remarkable, like I said. In fact, over the last 2 years, our stock almost doubled. So we've had to account for additional compensation expenses related to the stock movement over that period. That's certainly the main item that we've seen in the last quarter.
You've also got $1.4 billion in deployable capital. How are you thinking about using that over the next year or so?
Yeah, we're very pleased to the fact that we've got that $1.4 billion. We have capital deployment basically is one of our main priorities, obviously for organic growth. But on top of that, we also look at growing by acquisition. We've done many over the years, 70 acquisitions since 2000. 10 of them were over $100 million. And so we're looking at acquisition, whether it's in Canada, in our current businesses, or also in the U.S., because now we've got 2 businesses in the U.S. So we're looking at a lot of opportunities. I can assure you that we will stay disciplined. And at the end of the day, if we cannot deploy it as quickly as we would like to, there's also the buyback of shares, that is certainly an option that we have. In fact, we have accelerated the buyback recently because we're generating a large amount of excess capital.
Oh, you have? Okay, because I was going to ask you, like, given the stock's reaction today, and I know you say you're not reading into that too much, the market reaction, but I was going to ask why not accelerate the share buyback, but you're saying you've already done that?
Yeah, well, in fact, last year at some point we were at a pace of 2% a year. We've increased it in November, and certainly based on the stock price today, you would expect that we would probably accelerate the buyback of stocks in the next weeks, certainly.
Okay, we will leave it there. Denis Ricard, President and CEO of IA Financial, appreciate you joining us today. Thank you.